I was still whispering to the dispatcher when the handle started moving again. She told me to stay quiet and said officers were 2 minutes away. They never came. "Stay with me," she said, calm, not rushed, like she'd done this 100 times. "Units are en route." The back door handle dipped, released, and dipped again. Slow, testing. Not a shove, not panic. Whoever it was knew how to be patient. "I locked it," I said. "I know," she said. "You did the right thing." I hadn't told her about the knife. It was still in my hand. I'd grabbed it without thinking after the dispatcher answered the call. I hadn't mentioned it, not once. Maybe she heard it as I removed it from the block. The phone line shifted slightly, not a crackle, more like the phone had adjusted position against something. "Keep the knife low," she said, "not up by your chest." I froze. I hadn't moved, not enough to make noise. "If he sees it, he'll react," she continued, same calm tone. "Keep it out of sight." I turned slowly, checking behind me like someone might be standing there. There was nothing. "How do you know that?" I asked. A pause, then quieter. "I need you to stay focused." There was a pause on her end, not dead air, breathing, faint typing. The handle stopped. I waited. Then I heard something drag lightly across the wood. Fingertips, maybe, feeling the edge of the frame. "Do you have a place you can move to?" she said. "I'm in the kitchen." "Stay where you are, and don't make noise." Another pause. 2 minutes, she repeated. I watched the handle. It moved again, slower this time, like whoever was out there wanted me to notice. I didn't ask how she knew it was still happening. I assumed she could hear it. She never asked me to describe the sound. She just stayed with me on the line and counted down from 2 minutes that never ended. The first window was the one above the sink. I didn't hear the footsteps, but I saw the shadow shift and then saw the fingers. Just the tips at first, pressing against the glass, sliding along the edge like they were checking for a gap. He sucked in air too fast. "He's at the window," I whispered. "I know," she said. "You can hear that?" "I need you to stay focused," she replied, same tone, steady. "Officers are close." The fingers disappeared. A second later, something tapped twice on the glass, not hard, controlled, like a signal. "Do not respond," she said quickly. I wasn't going to. "You'd be surprised," she said. That felt off, too casual, like a joke she didn't finish. The shadow moved again, lower this time, then gone. I waited for sirens, even distant ones. Nothing. "How much longer?" I asked. "They're turning onto your street now." I almost cried from relief. I strained to hear anything outside, tires, doors, radios. Instead, I heard the side gate creak. "He's moving again," I said. "I know," she said again. Her certainty started to feel wrong, like she wasn't listening, like she already knew where he'd go next. The second window was the one in the living room. I couldn't see it from where I stood, but I heard the faint click of something against the glass. Metal this time. "Is there another way into the house?" she asked. "No." "Any unlocked windows?" "No." "Check," she said. "I'm not moving," I responded. "You need to be sure," she said. "I locked everything." "Check one more time," she repeated, a slight edge now in her voice. I took 2 steps out of the kitchen. The floor creaked under me and I froze. No reaction from outside. I moved another step, slow and controlled, peered into the living room. The curtain shifted. Not from wind. From inside. I backed up immediately. "He's not outside," I said, louder than I meant to. Silence on her end. Then, "Go back to the kitchen." "He's inside," I said. "Go back now." The line crackled. Not a drop, just a roughness, like interference. I returned to the kitchen. My hands were shaking so bad I had to press them against the counter. You said they were outside, I said. They are, she replied. That's not possible. Stay where you are. I listened. No footsteps, no breathing, nothing from the living room now. Then the back door handle moved again. From the inside. It turned down, slowly, fully, stopped just before the latch released. I stared at it. It's locked, I whispered. Good, she said. You told me he was outside. He is. The handle lifted back up. I felt something shift in my head. Not panic, something colder, like misalignment. How do you know this? I asked the dispatcher. There was no answer. How do you know where he is every time before I say it? There was a longer pause this time, then softer. I need you to stay on the line. Where are you? I asked. I'm with you, right here, she said. The words landed wrong. Not supportive, not reassuring, literal. I pulled the phone away from my ear and looked at it like it would tell me something. The call was still running. 42 minutes and 13 seconds. 42 minutes. No one's come, I said to her. They're delayed. For 40 minutes? There was silence. I'm calling again, I said. Don't hang up, she said immediately, urgently now. I need to confirm. If you hang up, I can't help you, she said. You're not helping me. And there was another crackle on the line. Then, very quietly, almost under her breath, don't let me lose you. I hung up immediately. I redialed 911 with shaking hands, and it rang once. 911, what's your emergency? A different voice, male, tired. I've already called, I said. Someone's in my house. The dispatcher said officers were on the way, but what's your address? He cut in. I gave it, typing, clear, fast. Ma'am, I don't have any units dispatched to that location, and we don't have a record of any call from this number. What? I've been on the phone for 40 minutes. Ma'am, the last call from this number was logged as an accidental disconnect, 3 minutes long. My throat tightened. That's not possible. She's still... I was... Are you in the house alone, ma'am? I looked at the kitchen doorway. The hall beyond it was dark. I hadn't turned the light on earlier, I was sure of it. Now it was. Dim, yellow. I don't think so, I said. Okay, he said, voice sharpening. I'm dispatching units now. Stay on the line. A soft sound came from the hallway. Not a footstep. A shift. Fabric, maybe. Then a voice. Not from the phone, but from just past the doorway. You hung up, she said. Same calm tone, same voice. I couldn't move. I told you not to, she continued. The dispatcher on the phone said something, but it sounded far away and muffled. The woman in the hallway stepped closer, just enough for me to see part of her shoulder. Dark fabric. No uniform that I recognized. You were doing well, she said. My phone slipped in my hand. Who are you? I managed. She didn't answer. Instead, from the phone, the male dispatcher said, units are 2 minutes out. The woman in the hallway smiled a little at that. Then she reached past the doorway and slowly turned the back door handle down. And this time it opened. After, there were sirens, real ones, late and too late to matter. They said there was no second call, no second dispatcher. The recording only had my voice for 3 minutes and then nothing. They asked if I might have imagined the rest under stress. I didn't argue. I just changed the locks, every door, every window. It doesn't matter. I tried to get past it. 2 months later, my neighbor knocked on my door at 2:11 a.m. Hard, repeatedly. Not frantic, just wrong enough to wake me. I stood in the hallway and watched the handle move, slow and careful. Call 911, he shouted through the door. Please, I need you to call now. My phone was on the table behind me, fully charged. I didn't touch it. He knocked again, louder this time. Please, he said, they're not picking up. I stepped back, further into the hall and house. "I'm sorry," I said, even though he couldn't hear me. The handle stopped moving. For a long time, there was nothing. Then his voice came through the door again, quieter now. "They told me to stay on the line." I closed my eyes. I didn't respond.